Hello everyone, this is Helen H. and welcome to my channel, Moss Cottage. I hope everyone is doing well. Today I have a fun project that we're going to be doing using coffee filters. They're so cheap, you know, you can go to Dollar Tree and I think it's 200 you get in a package for $1.25, but it's a very cheap thing, and it's, you know, people have used them before, but I was inspired by this video. If you have watched YouTube for any amount of time, crafting videos, then you know Amy from the channel Al John, and this was inspired by her, and so I'm going to go ahead and show you what she did, and I will link her to her channel and her video below so you can see what she did, because there's a possibility I'm doing something wrong. Who knows? But this is just what I did. And let me tell you something. I had a lot of fun doing this, and I'll show you the results in a little bit. But what you use is some watercolors, and if you know Amy, she uses Dollar Tree. A lot of her items come from Dollar Tree, so it's very inexpensive. You know, you don't have to invest a ton of money to make something really cool. So if you use the Dollar Tree coffee filters and the Dollar Tree watercolors, then, you know, for $2.50 plus tax, you can have a lot of fun. And that's not blood, that's red paint, just in case I stuck my finger in there and that's not quite dry. So anyway, so I've got my paints here, and I've got a little spray bottle of water, and I don't know if Amy did this or not. Let me turn my paint sideways so you can actually see a little bit better, just to give me a little bit more room to work in the camera like that. Okay. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to still move my paints. Okay, we'll do it this way. I'm going to go ahead and spray my coffee filter with water. And two things that you want to do this, you know, get your filter nice and wet, whether it is the way Amy does it, which I'm sure is not the way I do it, or the way I do it, is to get the pleats out, you know, the pleat part, and also to help the watercolors move around. Now, I'm just going to give my watercolors a quick spray here. I'm not going to use all of them. I'm just going to show you a couple examples how to make the wet part, and then we'll go on from there, okay? So I've got water on here, so I'm just I'll use a little bit of this red so you can see the color. And I'm just going to really, I mean, I'm getting mine nice and wet because it helps to move the color around. You see how it's kind of like spreading out? If you've got highly pigmented watercolors like these, the ones I'm using, they can get really dark. So if you want to have them more watercolor looking, you know, then you want to add more water. So I'm going to do that, and then let's go ahead and use some orange also. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that in. The orange wasn't quite as wet, so I'm just going to do this. And they are fragile, you know, to a point, but not so much that you have to worry about, you know, really getting the brush in there like I'm doing, and then when we pick them up, you really don't have to worry about it. Okay, so, and Amy said this in her video, and I agree with her. You can do it all one color, but rarely do I or she use things that are just one color, you know, like a solid color. I don't use solid color cardstock, or, you know, if I have a white piece of paper in a journal, I will do something to it before I use it. So I like to have two colors, and she did too. You could certainly add more, but you want to make sure that the colors you're using play nicely together and that you're not going to end up with mud. So then what she did was she went ahead and overlaid another filter over that. And I'm just going to give you a piece of advice. I don't remember that she had problems with this, but I did. Surprise. That if you overlay them exactly on top of each other, they're really hard to get apart because they kind of suck onto each other. So you want to, I left a little overhang here so that I'll be able to separate them, okay? And I think she might have even done a third one. Now what's happening is the color from this first one is getting on this second one. But let's go ahead. You can do it with 3, and I did it with 3 when I made some before, but just for time's sake, let's just go ahead and do 2. Now, you can take any kind of paper. She used like copy paper. I've got white copy paper. I've got cream copy paper. I've got notebook paper. And then I've got this, this is coffee paper that I used on my other ones. So I can reuse that because look at the cool pattern it puts on your paper when you do this. Isn't that awesome? So I also have this big cardstock here, and this is what I used also. So what you're going to do is you're just going to take your 2 or 3 layers. You can add color in between if you want, but if you see here, this has picked up quite a lot of color. And I'll tell you what, let me just for demonstration sake, let me get a piece of white paper that has not been used just so we can see the result. So all you do is you take your coffee filter and you're going to lay it on your piece of paper, and you're going to lay it as flat as you can. You know, you want to get some of the creases out just so you don't have, you know, big creases. So I just go ahead and put it like that. Okay, and I'm just going to toss that to the side and let it dry. But I also want to reuse some of these that I've already used. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this up and put it on this blue one. And we'll see what happens to that when I pick that one up. So I just laid my pink one over the blue one. You can see it looks kind of purple, but that's just the blue showing through, right? So I'm going to put that one aside. Now, I do have a little bit of paint here, so I can go ahead and take one if I want to absorb some more color and not waste. I can do that and just make one that is partially colored like this, okay? You see how this just has some color on it? We could do that. And I'm just going to go ahead, and I have paper laid over on the side here that I'm laying these on. They do dry very quickly. However, you can also, I did on my stack, when I did mine, I actually used my heat tool to dry them, and they dried super quickly. But I don't have it plugged in, so we're not going to do that. So I just wanted to show you that quickly, how you put the color on. Super easy. Put your coffee filter down, get it wet, splash some color on it, get the whole thing covered, and then start laying some more coffee filters on top of it. Then just pick them up and, you know, put them on a sheet of paper so that they can dry, okay? So that's how you do the base. And I just want to show you, okay, so this is the stack I did the other day, or the other evening, and I was having so much fun, let me tell you, okay? Listen to them. Can you hear that? Oh, they sound so good. Now remember, I did use a dryer on these, so I'm not sure if they would be as crinkly if you don't. But I just wanted to show you, and I know this is not going to show up on the camera because my lighting's not so good, but I'm just going to show you a couple. So here's one that I did with green and yellow, and you cannot see it on the camera. I know you can't because it's actually kind of hard for me to see, and I think it was too diluted. There, I have silver splashes. After the green and yellow dried, I splashed it with silver, and I don't know if they still have them or not, but I got these paints. These are watercolor gold and silver from Dick Blick, and I don't have the insert part of what brand they are, but this is what they look like. And these are so good. These are very highly pigmented metallic watercolors. So I did the green one, then here's a bluish purple one, and this also has silver on it. I'm not sure if you could see that. And then here's one that I did and I stamped on it. It's red and orange, and then I stamped those black flowers on it. And then here's another red and orange one, and this one, I'm not sure if you can see, but it has gold painted, like swirls of gold on it. This one's beautiful. I wonder, let me see, maybe it would help if I put white underneath. So here's this one here, this bluey green one, and this has gold splatters on it, and it is just beautiful. And then here's a blue purple one I did, and I did stamping on this one. And then here's another blue one with gold splatters. And then here's one that I stamped brown. I did brown watercolor paints, two or three different browns. And then I did some stamping with script, and then I splattered it with gold. And then here's just a brown with brown splat, or with gold splatters. And then here's another one. This is a brown one with gold swirls. So those are some of the things I did after I colored the watercolors. Now Amy does in her video, I'm not going to do it, but she'll show you in her video how you can make square I believe it's 5" by 5" squares out of these really easily. And I'm not going to do that because I actually want to use mine, or mostly want to use mine as pages in journals, you know, or page wraps in journals. So I'm going to leave mine round. If I decide I do want to do the square thing, I will refer back to her video how she did it. It just involves folding it and cutting it, so that's not really difficult. But I just wanted to show you, like, here's a dry one. This is a blue purple one right here. I have my twinkling H2Os. These are also metallic watercolors, and I hadn't played with them for a while, but using my gold and my silver paints got me to thinking about using my sparkling or twinkling H2Os. So I'm going to get a color here. This one is called Hot Cinnamon. I'm not sure what color it is. We'll see, whatever Hot Cinnamon is. But these are metallic, so they will shine when they're dry. So I'm just going to go ahead. Ooh, that's beautiful. That's pretty. So it's a red color. And I'm going to get enough on there so it looks deliberate and not like I cut myself. That's beautiful. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and I can use, see this is one I just did. Can you hear it? It's almost dry. That's almost dry. I'm just going to take a piece of paper here and put it on there just so that I know that that's going to dry. So let's do another one. Let's do this one, and let's do it with, what is this? Ocean Wave. Let's see what Ocean Wave looks like. It's a beautiful metallic-y blue color. And this actually, I have my fan brush here, but these little pans like this, it's actually easier to use this brush. Oh, this is pretty too. I want to make sure I'm actually getting some pigment in there and not just water. And, you know, with your watercolors, you know, you can just let them dry. They'll dry out again. There, that's a little better. Now I'm actually getting some of the pigment in there. They'll rehydrate, so you don't have to worry about that. So we've got that like that. Let's see if you can see that. Let me grab another piece of paper. Here, I'll grab one of these pieces of cardboard I used the other day. But see the patterns that it made? That's so cool. So when I make more, I'm going to keep making them on these and layer these up. But there's that one. So then you can also, you know, like I said, you can stamp on them. Amy didn't do any of this on her video, but I just figured I'd take it a little bit further. I don't believe she did, a little bit further and do some stamping and stuff myself. So let me just see here if I have I've got this flower stamp here, and let me just grab my ink and we'll stamp one up. Anything that you do, you know, really mixed media, you can do. See, this is picking up some of this red that's on my desk here. Let's just go ahead and get it all up. You can really do anything that you do on mixed media stamping. You could use acrylic paints. You could stencil. Stenciling is not something that I did. I should try doing that. But see, I'm just stamping here. I mean, I don't have a paper underneath here because usually I would stamp halfway off, but I don't want to stamp my pad, my mat with this stays on ink. Okay. Okay, so we've got the stamped one like that. Like that. So guys, I just wanted to show you, super easy, super fun, to make these fun little things. There's so many things you can do. And like I said, Amy will show you in her video linked below how to do make a 5x5 piece of paper out of it. And the sound is so crunchy and wonderful. If you make like these brown ones like this one right here that I did with the stamping and the gold and stuff, you could make some nice little papers for to tuck into pockets of junk journals and things like that. So I just hope you give this a try. It's super fun, and wouldn't it be fun to have a stack of these laying around so that you can use them in your projects? I mean, you could tear these up and use them for collage, you know, tear up some colored ones or whatever and use them for collage. But like I said, if you splatter them with metallics or other colored paints, stamp on them, stencil them, you know, do whatever you'd like with them, and then you've got some different kind of paper for your journals and other projects. So I hope you like this video, guys. Please give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I ask that you do. And until the next video, guys, I hope you're all truly blessed. Bye-bye.